All right, so here's the deal. The work we're about to do today is a lot like the first 8 or 10 questions on your last test. So if you got those questions correct, you're going to find that today's lesson's pretty easy. If you got those questions wrong, then you're going to find that this is another opportunity to learn how to do those things correctly with one slight adjustment in terms of what it is that you do. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get started on this and see what we got. Okay, so first equation up here, is this a same side or an opposite side situation? Okay, same side or opposite side? Opposite side, so opposite operation, and we always start with the smallest one, which is negative 3x, so I put positive 3x, negative 8 plus 10x, because 7x is plus 3x is 10x, equals 3. And now I add 8 to both sides, because that says negative 8, remember, 10x is 11, divide by 10, I get 11 over 10. It's an ugly answer, but some of the times lately I've been putting ugly answers on this because I want you to realize that not everything works out to be squeaky clean. Okay? Questions? Preguntas? I'm sorry? Anybody have pen or pencil? Ethan can borrow. I think Derek's moving around like he might. No? Anybody else pen or pencil Ethan can borrow? It's a shame, Ethan, because everybody else is going to get a head start on their work and getting it all done. All right, let's distribute to 5 here. 5a minus 45 is 2a plus 3a minus 26. And this is like the last question that was on your test. So I see a same side here, so I got to do same operation. 4a minus 45 is 2a's and 3a's. That's my same side, is 5a's minus 26. And then I subtract 5a's and I get into that uh-oh, spaghetti-o moment. What kind of 45 is this? Negative, right? And what kind of 26? What kind of 26?
Negative.
Negative. Does negative 45 ever equal negative 26?
No.
No. So whatever number you ever tried to work for A, it would never work. So, therefore, there is no answer. Okay? And now we get to a question that was like the beginning of the quiz, or the beginning of the test last week, and also a question that is going to lead into today's lesson. And you really do need to know how to do this, okay? If I was to go over here, you'll see. Hold on, nope. Now, if I say to you, what do I have there?
You have rocks, keys, and paper clips.
I do, and I want to know how much of each. So the best way I can think of to deal with these rocks, keys, and paper clips is you put all my keys in this nice neat pile here, put all my rocks in that neat pile, and then this neat pile. Now, I have 5 rocks, I have 6 paper clips, and I have 2 sets of keys. And that is exactly the way you want to look at this mess situation. You want to get all your rocks together, all your, if you want, papers together, scissors, whatever you want to think of it as. The bottom line is I have several different types of things here. The first type of thing I have are called n squareds. Now, here I have, this is just like before. What kind of 2 n squareds is here? Guys, what kind of 2 n squareds? Chris, pay attention. What kind of 2 n squareds, everybody?
3.
It's positive or negative? Positive. What kind of n squareds here? So if I have positive 2 n squareds and positive 1 n squared, Rachel, head in the game, how many n squareds do I have all together?
3.
2 n squareds and 1 n squared. 3 n squareds. Now, I have negative 5 n's and another negative 4 n's. Negative 9 n's. And then I have a positive 9 and a negative 1. And what is that all together? Positive 9, negative 1. What do we have? Positive 8, good. So my answer is this trinomial, try because there's 3 parts, 3n squared minus 9n plus 8. These skills, the equations, that's reviewed from earlier in the year. This we touched on a little earlier in the year, but we hit it hard the week before vacation. And we will hit it hard for the next 2 weeks as well, maybe even the next 3 weeks. This is a phenomenally important skill for next year at the high school. Okay. So we've been talking about this skill called combining like terms. And there literally is no difference between doing it with the questions that you see on the board and putting some rocks, some paper clips, and some keys on this desk. All you're going to do is say, look, I'm going to get all my keys together. I'm going to get all my rocks together. I'm going to get all my paper clips together. And I'm going to count them up. How many rocks, how many paper clips, how many keys. And that tells me what I have all together. Okay? So, a very typical one, a little easier one, would be something like this. 4x plus 3y plus 3x plus 5y. Now, how many x's do I have here all together? How many? You cannot be this out of it. Come on.
7x.
7 x's. 4 x's and 3 x's make 7x. It's as if there's 7 little rocks scattered all over the place and you're counting them up. Now, I have positive 3y's and positive 5y's. What is that all together?
8y's.
Positive 8y's. So I have 7x plus 8y, and that would be my final answer of, and listen to these directions, simplifying. I made a mess on the desk before, and I simplified it by getting all the rocks together, all the paper clips together, all the keys. And if you look on my desk here, I keep all my rocks in one area as paperweights. I put all my paper clips inside this container right here, and this one, which is right behind it.
Why don't you use that one?
Sometimes I do, not that often, but sometimes I do. Probably next year I'll use it more. And then I put all my keys right here. For that matter, I also have all of leftover tests from the other day here. I have all my Post-it notes here. I have a leftover piece of peanut there, which I have to get rid of. And all my pens are over here. So I keep all my like things together. And when we do this, it says simplifying combining like terms, or combining like terms, and the key word here is to simplify. This means just put it all together. Put all your like things together. Now, there's something very different about today's lesson compared to all of last week's lesson. It takes it to the next level. In the words of Emerald, BAM! We kick it up a notch. We bring it up a notch. What's different about this one compared to number 3 on the do it
That
and
one, oh, sorry.
all of the question? What's that?
That one has like the parentheses.
Yeah, the parentheses and the minus in front of it. And what that means is that you're going to negate it all. Imagine if I went to this side of the room and I took a chocolate chip cookie
Oh, you give it to me.
and I gave one to Jerry, one to Angela, skip you. I'll give you one. I'll give you one, skip you, skip you. You guys would look up and go, hey, what the heck? What the heck? You give them cookies and I don't get a cookie? You'd be like, where's my cookie? If you're going to give this side of the room, and then what if I gave all of you guys a cookie? What would the people on this guy say?
That's good.
They go, hey,
Right.
yo, what's up? Why
Oh,
are they
that
getting a
one either.
cookie and we're not getting a cookie?
And being kind of right.
Now,
We did.
parentheses, stop. Parentheses are what we call grouping symbols. Now, when I see a parenthesis and a parenthesis, that means I'm grouping the A and the 2B together. So that's like when I split the class according to this side and this side. And when I first started, and I only gave the cookies to some of the kids on this side, and I didn't give it to all of the kids, immediately, the immediate reaction, visceral, where's my cookie? What's the matter? You should, if you're gonna pick this side of the room, you should give it to everybody on this side of the room. In fact, my very great high school teacher, Mr. Brace, we used to come into class and we would bring Oreos with us. And we would sit down in class and we would start eating the Oreos. And Mr. Brace would go, now. And he'd walk over to our desks, he would take the Oreos off and he would eat them. And we'd go, Mr. Brace?
Shit, I'm
And he'd
sad.
go, no.
You savage.
If you're going to give cookies, you give cookies to everyone. You can't just have them yourself. So for most of the year, every day that we ever brought cookies into the room, he'd always steal them from us and eat them. And then one day, we got a really good idea.
You poison cookies.
No, that's not a good idea, that's a bad idea. We left school grounds during lunch, and we went to a local deli, and we bought 2 boxes of Oreos. And before he could come into the classroom, we had Oreos on every desk. And he walked in the room and he went,
And ate all of them.
Where's my Oreo?
good. No, we have some on his desk too. Good. Good. And he let us eat the Oreos. So there's this feeling of, you do for one, you gotta do for all. So this is like the class. The parenthesis says, if you do for one, you gotta do for all. So what that means is this, ready? This is the important idea. This negative sign here applies to everything in that package. What does the negative sign apply to? Everything in that. Gotta pronounce that just right. Let's try it again. Ready? Everything in that parenthesis.
Everything.
Everything. All y'all, todo el mundo. All y'all. Come on.
What does that mean?
All y'all. Y'all is a Texas thing.
I know.
Y'all is singular. Like if I say, Jerry, y'all gotta get your button gear, man.
What?
That means he alone has to get his button gear. But if I go, yo, all y'all better get your button gear.
That means all of us, but like, I mean.
That right. All y'all's plural.
You sound like you're trying to be a rapper.
No. Y'all is Southern. It's Texas. Y'all means, like if I say, y'all better start doing that right, that means you alone. If I say, all y'all better start doing that right, that means it's plural. It applies to everybody. A girl from Texas told me that. Now,
Girlfriend?
no, it wasn't a girlfriend.
Oh.
Just a girl from Texas. God
My
bless.
friend Alana
God
comes
bless.
back to
Yeah.
Donald
So,
attack.
When I see this minus in front of the package, that means it applies to all y'all. All y'all. Or
I think
todo el mundo.
We'll just tell them.
Todo el mundo, the whole world inside that package.
What'd you say?
Bless you. So check it out. Is there a big negative in front of these guys? No, so they stay the same. 4A plus 3B. Now, this negative in front of the package, what you're going to do is distribute the negative. Now, who remembers the rule for whenever you multiply or divide by a negative? 3 words.
Wait, what?
When you multiply or
Distribute.
divide by a negative,
Multiply?
change that sign. So I'm going to distribute the negative to both of them. In the package, what kind of A is this?
One.
Is it positive or negative?
I did it
Positive, so
wrong.
now I have to make it a negative. I'm gonna change that sign. Remember we talked about like the show Extreme Home Makeover and move that bus? Now, if we take a look over here, what kind of 2B is this? Look over here in the package, what kind of 2B is it?
Positive.
Positive, so now I have to change that sign, minus 2B. And now, what you do is the same exact thing you already know how to do. We combine like terms. We get our rocks together, we get our paper clips together, we get our keys together. If I have 4 A's and a negative A, how many A's do I have? 4 A's and a negative A. How many A's? 3 A's, good. 3 B's and a negative 2B. 1B. So my answer is 3A plus B. So the difference between what we're doing today and what we have been doing is just this. When I see the negative in front of the package, I have to change all y'all's signs.
Y'all.
All y'all. I gotta
Y'all,
change
yeah,
all the
tax
signs in that package. So the A was positive, it became negative. The 2B was positive, it became negative. And then I do what I already know how to do. So I want you to try number 2. Go ahead. Okay, so I see the negative in front of the parenthesis, and that really catches my attention, okay? So now these guys, they don't change because there's no negative in front of a parenthesis in front of them, so they're just staying the same. Now, in the parenthesis, what kind of X is this? Positive, right? So then I'm gonna change its sign, so what do I get?
Negative.
Negative X, good. What kind of 8 is this?
Negative.
Negative, so when I change it, it becomes,
Positive.
now I get my signs together. What's negative 4X's and another negative X? What is it? Negative 5X's. And then I have, what kind of 3 is this? Positive, and what kind of 8 is this? So what's 3 and 8?
11.
So negative 5x plus 11 is good. If you wrote 11 minus 5x, these two terms are equal. Notice, 5x is negative, 5x is negative. 11 is positive, 11 is positive. So you know they're equal terms. Okay, try number 3.
Is there fire drill next period?
No, it's good. It's a good day to get them done. State law tells us how many we have to do a year. And I believe the number's 12.
We only have like 4.
Well, you have 8 in the beginning of the year, and you have 4 at the end of the year. I believe, because we had 2 today, or this 8th period will be the second one, I believe that's a total of 12. So we're in good shape. And I think we're done. I have a pet bugaboo about fire drills. I despise fire drills.
We know how to
Very
get
much.
out. Like.
Well, here's my biggest complaint. People who make laws, in my opinion, have no guts.
Why?
Well, here's a great example.
'Cause they'll
They
never
are afraid that something will happen in a fire drill. And that people will then blame them. But, do you realize that every single kindergartner in the state of New York does 12 fire drills a year?
Even then.
And every single senior in high school does 12 fire drills a year? Do you really think an 18-year-old needs the same number of repetitions a 5-year-old needs?
Probably not.
If they do, there's a real problem. So my personal view on the issue is to do something like this. By all means, for young kindergartners, maybe through about 3rd grade, 12 a year is good, maybe even a couple more, right? But when you start hitting 4th and 5th grade, maybe you're down to 10 a year. Then in middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, maybe 8 a year, 7 or 8 a year. Then you get to the high school, 5 a year. Do you really need any more than that?
We need like 1.
Well, I can
I don't
understand,
think-
I can understand 1 for each lunch period. Because lunch can be a little tricky, so that's 3 right there. And then, another couple spread out during the day for regular classes. So, 5, 6, something like that, I think is a good number. Maybe you could argue 7 or 8. I don't think you can argue that 12 is necessary. Okay, now, why did I just rewrite that?
So make it easier.
Definitely helps, but why didn't I change anything?
Because you need to like get the parentheses.
Well, remember what we said before? I only change things that are the parentheses after the minus sign? Are there any parentheses and minus signs in front of this?
No.
No, so I leave it. Now, I'm going to distribute the negative and change every sign. I would like to hear more class participation than I did the last couple times I asked this. What kind of 2A is this? Positive. So when I negate it, I get,
negative.
what kind of 5B?
Negative.
So it becomes, what kind of 2A? So it becomes, now I get all my keys together, my rocks together, my paper clips together. 3A's and negative 2A's make? 3A's and negative 2A's make what?
Positive 1A.
Positive 1A. Positive 2B's and positive 5B's make?
Positive 7.
Positive 7B. And negative C and,
Nothing.
oh, well, you know what? A negative C, but then there's this plus 2A I forgot about on the end. So now what's A plus 2A? 3A. I should have done it all at once. I didn't. I expected a C to be there, but that's okay because I just did an extra step at the end. Trinomial, 3 parts, right? 3 terms, 3A, 7B minus C. That's my answer. Now what I want you to do is do the next 2 questions, and feel free to talk to anybody that you're sitting around to help you with those questions.
So,
Mr. Lindquist,
Yes.
what are we playing on Monday?
Oakdale.
Oh, God.
No shades in class.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Hurry up. Under a minute. Okay. So now, without quite as much teaching steps and a little more the way it would typically be done on your paper, I would look at this and I'd say, okay, I have to negate each of these terms, so I'm gonna distribute the negative sign. So I get 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. This was a positive 2x squared, it becomes a negative. This 7x here was negative, it becomes a positive. And the 9 was positive, so it becomes a. So I just wound up switching all 3 of these signs. That's the only thing I have done so far. Now, to put it all together, I have 3x squared and negative 2x squared, that's 1x squared. I have 5x's and 7x's, that is 12x's. And I have negative 2 and negative 9, is negative 11, and another trinomial, x squared plus 12x minus 11, 3 terms in there. Any question about that? Problems? Preguntas?
No.
Okay. Now, this one's a little ugly looking, but it's done exactly the same way. X cubed minus 3x squared, they do not change because there's no negative in parentheses in front. Now I start distributing. And by the way, you could put the whole package into a trinomial first. It would be entirely up to you, but I'm going to keep it simple by changing all the signs. Negative 4x plus 5 minus 3x squared. See those signs changing like the ticking of a clock? Minus 2. Look at the signs change. Ready? Positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative. That's all I did. I changed the signs. I don't touch the numbers. Now, there's only one x cubed term, so that stays. Sometimes kids like to do this. Cross them off as you go along. As you get into more and more terms, by crossing them off, you realize which ones you don't need to look at. Negative 3x squared and another negative 3x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 4x and positive 3x is negative x. And then positive 5 and negative 2 is positive 3. Is this a trinomial? Is this answer right here a trinomial? Why not? 4 parts. And we don't usually use a term like quadrinomial. I've never really heard that before. What we tend to use is the term polynomial. Technically, 2 or more terms is a polynomial, but we go with, we name binomials and trinomials, but we don't, after that we just call it a polynomial. Are there any other questions on this?
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, homework.
All right, so now what you can do for the rest of the period is work on your homework. And, yes, Chris, now you can go potty. Y'all can get your homework, all y'all, I should say, can get your homework done before the end of the period and enjoy